The Galactic Council chambers stretched wide like a cathedral made of starlight. Representatives from 12,000 species sat in their floating pods, each one ancient beyond human counting. The beings of pure crystalline energy had built empires when Earth was still cooling from cosmic fire. They had conquered 100 star systems before the first fish crawled onto human shores. These were the masters of the galaxy, and they had gathered today to witness something they found deeply amusing. Humanity had come to ask for membership. Ambassador stood alone on the speaking platform. She was small compared to the massive alien forms around her. Her species had only discovered faster than light travel 60 years ago. They were bobbies in a room full of giants. She kept her back straight and her voice steady as she made her case. The laughter started before she finished speaking. It began with the delegation, their bodies clicking in what passed for mockery among their kind. Then the joined in, their tentacles slapping together in cruel amusement. Soon, the entire chamber rang with the sounds of alien contempt. Stood there and took it all. She had been warned this would happen. Humanity had been warned for decades. High Chancellor X of the silenced the chamber with a wave of his massive clawed hand. His scales were the color of dried blood, and his eyes held the cold patience of a predator who had never known defeat. He looked down at Like. She was an insect that had wandered into his meal. "Little human," he said, his voice translated through the universal speakers. "Your species is barely worth mentioning. You have no territory of value. Your technology is primitive. Your military strength is laughable. What could you possibly offer the Galactic Council?" Opened her mouth to respond, but X cut her off. "We have watched your kind for centuries. You are violent, short-lived, and foolish. You fight wars among yourselves over patches of dirt. You destroy your own planet with pollution and greed. The only reason we have not claimed your solar system is because it holds nothing we want." The chamber erupted in agreement. Species that had been enemies for united in their disdain for humanity. Felt the weight of their mockery pressing down on her shoulders, but she did not break. She had known this moment would come. Humanity had prepared for it. "We understand," said simply. "We thank the Council for their time." She turned and walked out of the chamber. Behind her, the laughter continued. The alien powers returned to their important matters, already forgetting the small pink creatures who had dared to dream of equality. They would remember soon enough. 3 months later, the Empire launched an invasion of human space. They claimed it was a cleansing operation, nothing more than pest control. High Chancellor X himself led the fleet. 12,000 warships, each one capable of destroying a planet, jumped into the Sol system expecting easy victory. The humans had other plans. Earth's defense grid activated the moment the fleet appeared. Orbital platforms that looked like simple satellites revealed themselves as weapon stations. Ships that seemed like cargo haulers dropped their disguises and became bristling with technology the galaxy had never seen. The fleet was surrounded before they could fire a single shot. X demanded the humans surrender. He promised to make their extinction quick if they cooperated. The response came not from any military commander, but from a young scientist named Dr. James. His face appeared on every screen in the fleet. "High Chancellor," James said, his voice calm and almost friendly. "Humanity has a message for you and your council. We spent 60 years preparing for this moment. We knew you would mock us. We knew you would attack us, so we built something special." The space behind Earth rippled like water disturbed by a stone. Something massive emerged from the darkness between dimensions. It was a ship, but calling it a ship was like calling a hurricane a breeze. The vessel stretched across space like a mechanical god, its hull covered in weapons that the laws of physics the galaxy thought it understood. "We call it the Vengeance Engine," James continued. "It took us 40 years to build and another 20 to perfect. Every human on Earth contributed to its creation. Our scientists, our engineers, our workers, our dreamers. This ship represents everything humanity can achieve when united by purpose. X stared at the impossible vessel. His tactical displays were going insane trying to analyze it. The power readings alone exceeded anything in recorded galactic history. His voice came out as a whisper. "What is that thing?" The Vengeance engine answered for itself. A beam of pure white energy lanced out from its forward array. It struck the center of the formation with surgical precision. 100 warships vanished in an instant, converted to their component atoms. There was no explosion, no debris. They simply ceased to exist. X screamed orders to return fire. Thousands of weapons discharged at once, filling space with enough destructive energy to shatter moons. The Vengeance engine's shields absorbed everything without a flicker. Then it fired again, and again. In 12 minutes, the greatest military force the Empire had ever assembled was reduced to drifting wreckage. X's flagship was captured intact. The High Chancellor himself was dragged before, who had returned to space aboard a human destroyer. "We are not violent by nature," told him as he knelt in chains before her. "But we are survivors. We learned to fight because the universe demanded it. We learned to build because creation is in our souls. You mocked us because we were young. You attacked us because you thought we were weak. You were wrong on both counts." The news spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. The Galactic Council convened in emergency session. Species that had laughed at humanity now trembled at the name. The Vengeance engine took position at the edge of Council space, visible on every sensor in the region. It did not attack. It simply waited. Humanity sent a new ambassador to the Council. This time, there was no laughter. The chamber was silent as a tomb when the human representative took the speaking platform. His name was David, a former soldier who had lost his family in this initial assault on human colony worlds. "We did not build the Vengeance engine because we wanted war," David said. "We built it because we had no choice. For 60 years we listened to your transmissions. We watched your empires grow fat on conquest. We heard how you spoke of us, like vermin to be exterminated when convenient, so we prepared." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Our scientists reverse-engineered technology you thought we could not understand. Our engineers built weapons you believed were impossible. Our people sacrificed comfort and luxury to fund construction that would protect future generations. The Vengeance engine is not just a warship. It is a promise from every human who ever lived to every human who will ever be born. We will never be victims again." The representative spoke, its crystalline voice filled with something that might have been fear. "What do you want from us?" "We want nothing except what we asked for before: membership in the Galactic Council, a seat at the table, the right to exist without threat. We are not conquerors. We do not wish to rule, but we will defend ourselves against any who try to harm us." High Chancellor X was returned to his people in disgrace. The Empire sued for peace and paid reparations for their unprovoked attack. Other species that had planned similar actions quietly canceled their operations. The galaxy had learned a valuable lesson about underestimating the young species from the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. The Vengeance engine remained on patrol, a constant reminder of humanity's resolve. But it was not the only project humans had been working on. In secret laboratories and hidden shipyards, they continued to build and innovate. The Vengeance engine was just the beginning. Became the first human representative to sit on the Galactic Council. On her first day, she brought with her a gift for the chamber. It was a small plant from Earth, green and delicate, growing in a pot of dark soil. She placed it on her desk where everyone could see it. "This is called hope," she told the assembled aliens. "On Earth, plants like this grow in the harshest conditions. They push through concrete and rock. They survive fire and flood. They are small and fragile, but they never stop reaching for the light." She smiled at the chamber, at the ancient powers who had mocked her just months ago. Humanity is like this plant. We are young, we are small, but we adapt, we grow, we endure. You may have built empires that span galaxies, but we built something more important. We built each other. Every human stands together when threatened. That unity is our greatest weapon, far more powerful than any engine of vengeance. The galaxy changed after that day. Some species approached humanity with friendship, eager to learn from the newcomers who had achieved so much so quickly. Others kept their distance, respecting the power humans had demonstrated. A few still plotted in secret, searching for weaknesses to exploit. They would find none. Dr. James continued his research, leading teams that pushed the boundaries of science further each year. David trained a new generation of human defenders, teaching them that true strength comes from protecting others. Navigated the treacherous waters of galactic politics, building alliances and fostering understanding between species. The Vengeance engine stood guard over human space, its weapons silent but ready. It had been built from anger and fear, but it served a higher purpose now. It represented not vengeance but vigilance, not destruction but deterrence. Humanity hoped they would never need to use it again. But they were ready if they did. Across the galaxy, other young species watched what humanity had accomplished. They had been mocked and dismissed just as humans had been. Now they saw a different path forward. They reached out to Earth, seeking guidance and friendship. Humanity welcomed them all. The galaxy had trembled at the Vengeance engine. But what truly frightened the ancient powers was something else entirely. It was the look in human eyes when they spoke of their children and their future. It was the way they helped even their enemies when disaster struck. It was their capacity for both terrible violence and boundless compassion. The universe was vast and dark and dangerous, but humanity had found its place within it. They had earned their seat at the table not through conquest but through determination. They had shown that being young did not mean being weak. And the galaxy would never mock them again.